Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Azrin here, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to today's podcast episode and YouTube video. If you are listening to this only on the podcast with no video, please note that you actually can watch this on YouTube as well as on Spotify. On the video version, I'm usually sharing my screen, and I've got a visual to support everything that I'm saying in the podcast. Today, we're going to go through something useful for every single Gujarati learner. We're going to go through how to write the Gujarati script, ka, ka, ga, ga, so on and so forth, using a Latin alphabet. In other words, how do you write Gujarati using an ABC alphabet? Now, there are two reasons why Gujarati learners have to know this, and I think it's very useful to know this in my perspective. Reason one is that when Gujarati people text each other, say on WhatsApp, they don't typically use the Gujarati script. Frequently, they use an ABC Latin alphabet. So instead of writing, for example, Kemcho with the Gujarati script, they will write K-E-M. Oh, my alarm's going off on my phone. Sorry. There we go. They will write K-E-M-C-H-O. That's actually how they will text each other. So if you plan to text with people that are Gujarati in Gujarati, a lot of them are going to use the Latin alphabet to text in Gujarati. So it's important for you to know what system they're using and for you to know how do you actually type with them in a way that they're going to understand what you're trying to say. The second reason to know the Gujarati script using a Latin alphabet is for those who don't want to learn how to read and write in Gujarati. If you don't want to learn the Gujarati script, you still will find it very helpful to have a consistent, simple way to represent the sounds of the language in a written format. Otherwise, you'll be learning completely by ear, and that is actually a heck of a lot harder. Okay? I also want to mention that for every single letter that we're about to cover today, we're going to cover the whole alphabet, essentially. We're going to cover basically the whole alphabet. For every single letter, I have actually made a separate video where I've gone through 3 videos, actually, where I've gone through the alphabet in depth to give very precise instructions on how do you pronounce every single one of these letters. Where do you put your tongue? What do you do? What should it sound like? So on and so forth. So today we're not going to focus too heavily on step-by-step how to pronounce each letter because I've already made videos and podcasts to do that. Again, if you search Learn Gujarati with me on YouTube, Spotify, really any podcasting platform, or of course YouTube, you will be able to find those lessons. In fact, on YouTube, I have a playlist that's called, I believe, Learn to Pronounce and Read Gujarati. It's on my Learn Gujarati with Me YouTube channel. There are videos in there, and it's all organized in that playlist. Okay, without further ado, let's jump in to how to type the Gujarati script with the Latin alphabet. The letter Ka, such as the word kabutar, which means pigeon, is written with a lowercase k. The letter Ka, such as the word kataro, which means truck, is written with a lowercase kh. The letter Ga, such as the word Ganesh, as in the deity, is written with a lowercase g. Gha, such as the word ghar, ghar means house, is written with a lowercase gh. Next one is cha, such as the word chamchi. Chamchi is a teaspoon. This is written with a lowercase ch. So far, pretty easy. Next letter is cha, such as the word che, che, as an example. This word means is. Cha is written with a ch, all lowercase. Now, a small asterisk. When Gujarati people text each other, they frequently are not going to write chh. They're just going to write ch. I've written chhh because the ch is already assigned to another letter in Gujarati. So to avoid doubles, I have a chh. Hope that makes sense. Next one here. Ja, such as the word jalebi, the sweet. Ja is written with the lowercase j. The next letter, ja, or some people might say za, is written with a jh or just a simple z. There's not that many words with this letter, quite honestly. The only one that is even remotely common, and it really isn't even that common, you're not going to use it very often, is the word jablu or zablu. Kind of like a type of kid's vest, kind of, sort of. Anyway, it's not that important. Next letter, however, is very common, which is ta, such as tomato. Tomato is a tomato. To write a ta, you're going to put a lowercase t. Next one here is thandi. Thandi means cold, and the letter is ta. Ta is written with a lowercase t and a lowercase h. Next letter is da, such as the word damru. Damru is kind of like a type of drum. If you search D-A-M-R-U, I think that's how you spell it in English, you will find pictures on Google, and you'll see exactly what kind of drum it is. What kind of drum it is. Da is written with a lowercase d. Next letter is dha. Dha, such as dhol. Dhol is another type of drum. You can search D-H-O-L, dhol, in Google Images, and you'll find pictures of it to see what it looks like. Dha is written with a lowercase d and a lowercase h. Now, it's very important for these four letters we just did. Ta, ta, da, dha. These must be written with lowercase. Lowercase t, ta, lowercase th, ta, lowercase d, da, lowercase dh, dha. The reason for that is later on in a couple letters, we're going to see some uppercase t's and d's, and those are different letters. Again, when you're texting Gujarati people, it's not going to make a difference if it's lowercase, uppercase. It's not going to matter. But for our purposes, because Gujarati has so many letters that in English we would write with a T or a D, we have to differentiate between them. So we have unique letters to represent the English letters, ABC letters, Latin letters, to then represent the Gujarati script. Does that make sense? I hope so. Moving on. Next letter here we have is ana, such as the word pani. Pani means water. This is written with a capital N. Again, Gujarati people are not going to worry about if it's capitalized or not, but for our purposes, we're going to capitalize it because there is another letter that I've associated with the lowercase n. The ana sound is very difficult to pronounce. I have made a specific video. I made a podcast too, but the video is particularly good on the YouTube channel, Learn Gujarati with Me. There's one particular video dedicated to this letter because it's quite difficult for people to pronounce. Next letter, next set of four letters actually, are all written with a capital. So we have ta, such as the word tame, which means you. This is a capital T. So not lowercase t, because lowercase t is ta. This is ta, not ta. If you can't hear the difference, really straightforward. For ta, lowercase t, the tip of your tongue goes to the roof of your mouth. For the uppercase ta, you're actually going to bite your tongue. Like if you're watching the video, I'll show you. Like you actually bite your tongue and say ta, 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 ta while you bite your tongue. Next, we have ta, also biting your tongue, such as the word thali. Thali is a type of plate. If you want to see what it looks like, search Thali on Google and you'll find it. A ta is written with an uppercase T, lowercase h. Next one, da. You're going to bite your tongue again for this. Da is written with an uppercase D. An example word would be daro. Daro is a ball. Last one here in the set of four is dha. Dha, such as the word dhaja. Dhaja is a flag. Dha is going to be written with the uppercase D, lowercase h. So again, these four letters, ta, tha, da, dha, we're going to have uppercase letters, not lowercase. Doesn't matter if you're texting Gujarati people, but for our purposes, because we have other letters that have a lowercase t, lowercase d, so on and so forth, we have to differentiate these somehow. For ta, tha, da, dha, for all four of those letters, you are going to literally bite your tongue to put your tongue in the right place to say ta, tha, da, dha. Okay, next letter is a little bit easier. We have na, pa, fa, and ba. Okay, na, pa, fa, ba. Very easy to pronounce. Na, such as the word nam. is written with an N, lowercase n. Pa, such as the word patangyu, which means butterfly, is written with a lowercase p. Fa, such as fatakra, which means fireworks, is written with a lowercase f. Ba, such as bakri, bakri is a goat. Ba is written with a lowercase b. Very easy set of 4 letters. Okay, next ones are also not really crazy difficult. We have bha, bha such as bhais. Bhais is a water buffalo. Okay, water buffalo. That's a bha, and that's written with a lowercase b and a lowercase h. Next letter, also very easy. Ma, such as the word marchu. Marchu is pepper. That's written with a lowercase m. Marchu is what's that one called? What's that hot? Sometimes with these words in Gujarati, I forget the English one. Like if you have like marchu will often be that what's the red one? The red powder that's very spicy. Can't think of the English word for it, but marchu is often that red spicy powder. If you know what it is, please write in the comments or send me a message because I can't find it in English right now. Ya, such as the word yad. Yad is like memory or maybe like remember. Depends on how you use it, I guess. But ya, such as yad, is written with the lowercase y. Ra, such as ramakru. Ramakru means toy, like an action figure, for instance. That's written with the lowercase r. La, such as the word lasan. Lasan is garlic. That's written with the lowercase l. Va, such as vasan. Vasan means dishes, as in I'm washing the dishes. That is a lowercase v. V like Victor. We have 2 letters that are represented the same way. We have sha and sha. Now, sha and sha are written differently in the Gujarati script. They're just written differently in Gujarati script. But when we write them in the English, the Latin alphabet, we're going to write an SH for both of them. Some examples with both sha and sha, both these letters. We have Shilpa, like the name, and Shatkon. Shatkon is a hexagon. Shatkon. Okay. These 2 letters are nowadays pronounced the same way, basically. Once upon a time, they were probably pronounced different. I think they were pronounced differently. I'm pretty sure I know, once upon a time how they were pronounced, but nowadays they're just kind of the same. If you're not learning to read the Gujarati script, it doesn't even matter that there's 2 letters because, well, they're pronounced the same. Woohoo! Okay, next we have sa, such as saslu. Saslu is a rabbit. We write this with the letter S, lowercase s. Next one, ha, such as hat. Hat is written, hat means hand, and it's written with the lowercase h. Next we have ara. Ara is a bit hard to pronounce. I have a whole video on how to pronounce ara. If you go to the YouTube channel, Learn Gujarati with me, you go in the playlist where it's called Learn to Pronounce and Read Gujarati. There's a whole video in there specifically on how to pronounce ara. Ara, such as the word nar. Nar means like a tap, where you turn the tap and turn on water. That is written with an uppercase L. Okay, next, consonants are almost wrapped up here. We have ksha. Ksha, there aren't that many words. Ksha, the word that I've chosen to give you here is one that probably you'll know is Lakshmi. Lakshmi, like the deity. This is written with a KSH. Some people might write this with an X as well. Last consonant that we're going to go through is gna, such as yagna. There are very few words with gna. You're not going to see it very often. Gna is written with a G and an N. Yagna is like that ceremonial. If you search yagna, you'll see what it looks like. It's like that ceremonial, kind of like a puja, if you know what puja is, with a fire. Kind of like that, okay? If you Google yagna, you'll see exactly what it is. And that's Y-A-G-N-A, yagna, yagna, okay? So that kind of wraps up our consonants here. Let's keep going here down with our vowels. First one is a. A is written with a, such as the word ame. Ame means we. A is written with a lowercase a. Now, please note that in English, a is written with a lowercase u. But in Gujarati, Is an A. A makes A doesn't make like ah. That's not what it does. Next letter is A, such as the word ag. Ag means fire. This we are going to write with a double A, A. But please note, asterisks on this one too. Gujaratis, when they text each other, they're probably just going to write a single A. They're not going to write two A's. For our purposes, though, A will be two A's, A will be one A. Next letter is E. Now, in the Gujarati script, we have a long E and a short E. They're pronounced the same now. Okay, they're pronounced the same way. There's no difference in how they're pronounced, even though there are two separate letters. This is written with a small lowercase I. For example, the word limbu. Limbu means lemon. Next, we have the U sound. Again, I know there are two different U letters in the script. There's a short and a long U. When we pronounce it, when we say it, there isn't really a difference in how it's said. They're pronounced the same way. Both of those letters we're going to write with a lowercase u, such as the word ungvu. Ungvu means to sleep. Next, we have a. A by itself is a word anyway. A means that, he, or she. A is written with the lowercase e. Sorry, going back one letter for ungvu, when we had the letter u. U is written with, as I said, a lowercase u. But be careful, in English, the u letter actually says a, such as the word up or uncle. But in Gujarati, no. Gujarati, u says u when you text people, for example. Okay, next letter, not crazy common, but sometimes you'll see it. It's I, such as the most common word you'll use with I is like paisa, for example. Paisa means money. This is written with an AI. Next letter, second last one we're going to go through is O, such as the word chalo. It's at the end, but chalo, the O in chalo, that means like let's go. O is written with the letter O. Easy enough. Last vowel we're going to go through is O. And A, that's written with an AU, lowercase. There aren't, again, not that many words with an O in it, but one that maybe you know is so. So is kind of like, sounds like a so, like SO in English, but no, so is like everyone. Okay. Could also kind of mean every, I suppose, but let's just keep it simple and say everyone. So that wraps us up for today. Now, Gujarati does have, if you pull up the Gujarati alphabet on other websites, sometimes you'll have a couple of extra vowels, a couple of extra letters. What I've tried to do is just give the ones you're going to see 99.99999% of the time. There are some other letters that sometimes you'll see from time to time, like ru and a couple of others, but we're just going to worry about these for the time being. Those random other ones that sometimes you'll see, well, when you see them, don't worry. You'll be like, oh, what's that? And then you can Google it or ask someone, for example, and they'll just tell you like, oh, this is that letter. And there you go. You'll know it. So what I've shown you here will cover you for 99.9999999% of all reading and speaking that you do. In fact, it's actually going to cover you for all the speaking you do. But if you are learning to read Gujarati, it's 99.999% of what you're going to read. Okay. Let's wrap this up here. Again, I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, you're welcome to contact me. Go to Azrin, the language nerd. I'll type it on the screen for those on the video. thelanguagenerd.com/contact. Link is in the description of the episode. AZ or ZREN, thelanguagenerd.com/contact. Contact me from there, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Good luck with your Gujarati learning. I wish you all the best, and we'll chat later. Aujo. Bye-bye.